Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today this is gonna be the basics of how to edit a montage. So previously my old montage tutorial hit 10k views, and thank you guys so much for the support. We are nearly at 500 subscribers, and I'm actually doing my 𝗟𝗍 pack giveaway. So that thing usually costs $5, but now I'm gonna be giving it away for free. So all you have to do is be subscribed, send me proof on Discord, and yeah, I'll enter you in the giveaway. And at the end of November, I will do a live stream where I spin the wheel, and 3 winners will be picked. So yeah, just to keep that out for you. So first step, we have to make sure we have our we have to make sure we have our plugins downloaded. So let me just go into my files, because I don't know if I'm allowed to show websites, and I'm actually gonna put a link, but yeah, so I don't think I'm really allowed to show websites. And yeah, so I do have a few of my things in my files. So here I go to my plugins. So here I have Universe, I have the Continuum, and a bunch of other RSMBA Twixtor. And I'll put a list up on screen, and I'll make it a Google Doc as well. So pretty much you have to make sure you have the basic you have to make sure you have the basic plugins, because if you use the regular ones, it's just really not on par with the montages that we see these days and the ones I'm making. So yeah, I beg you guys, please get these plugins. They're 100% safe, and I obviously don't want my laptop, which is very expensive, getting hacked and broken, and so far it hasn't, so I'm very happy with the results I'm finding. So back to the video. First thing you want to do, as per usual, is make sure you have your clips. So my clips are in my video, and I put them in the clips area, and they're all here. So I always clear them after I'm done in one montage. So yeah. Okay, first of all, we should go to our timeline and choose our song. So for this song, I decided to go with this one. It's a more subtle one by 𝗟𝗍 but I like it quite a lot. It's got actually quite a lot of beats, so that's good to know. So first, we want to listen through the song and mark all the beats, and make sure that you can choose what you want this time code to be, and you can make it frames. So how many frames, and then you can make it you can go here, and then you can select it and change it all frames. Yeah, usually there should be a selection for not being on the frames. So, and what we want to do first is you want to make sure you have all the beats selected. So it's important for the intro that if you're using a cinematic, that you mark it out. But in the case that you're not, which most people don't these days, so I'm just gonna take this clip, drop it here, find where the kill is, and just mark it. So press M to mark, and then what you can do is grab here, and then you see this red thing, we're gonna grab it and we're going to pull it backwards. Now I recommend putting all your audio and stuff below audio number 1 and A1, because if otherwise usually your copy pastes will go elsewhere. Yeah, so all your copy pastes will pretty much always go to here. I mean, there might be some solution out there, but from what I know, there really isn't. So what I do, I just put everything above, and so here's a shot, and we're just gonna sync that. Now for the intro, so I usually say maybe 300 frames. You want to kind of go here, 300. The good thing about working with frames is that it's easier to time remap. So here, let's keyframe the opacity at around 30. And we can go back here, and we can keyframe that at 30 as well. Okay, now that we are here, we can go to around 350, can set that to 100. So this is perfect for your text and your overlays. And what I do is I go back 5 frames, so this is going to be 652, and then I go here and I cut this. And then I nest it to make sure my Twixtor works. Now this is a part where you put in Twixtor. Now I have a preset. It's my friend for helping me, for recommending this one. And here are the settings. So start off at 286, and then so we're 52, and then when we get here, we are at 79. It's like 27 frames. You can kind of do 30 if you want. So let's say I can change it to 682. You can just drag this back a little. So make it this 286 and then 30. So then it slows down. And make sure, and then afterwards you just render this out. But here's the important part. So most people have intros these days. So what they do first is make a text. So one that I really like is emails, but that one's a preset, and this is just meant to be semi-basic. So yeah, we're just gonna type it normally. You can put lisex, highlights, and then once you're done here, we're gonna go here and we're gonna go to here. And a font I really liked, which I found recently when I was making my intro, is the 𝗟𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗃. So I'm just gonna make this around till I think it's about right. So maybe I think 200, maybe a little too big. Oh, that's not doing it. 170. Okay, so 170, and then we stick this here, and then we add a secondary text behind, and then we put it as #21. That's strange. Okay, we'll use a different font for this. Maybe we can use Dimbo. It's the one I showed in my old one. It's still a pretty solid font, but I definitely do like this other one more. So here, let's do #20. Let's take this and we can size this up to around 400 and 500, and then we can just center that and then make sure it's below your main text. And then you just want to go here, go to the transform section and turn the opacity down to like 30 or 40. So I think 40 looks nice, or 30. And then we can add some shadow to this. And we can go to shadow and we can make the thing black. Okay, so as you can see, it's kind of darker now, and I think it looks pretty good. So now that everything's aligned and this thing's aligned as well, we're gonna give this some life. Yeah, so we can actually do this as a whole, since yeah, so let's keyframe this at 0 and the scale, and then we want to go to around maybe 60, and we want to keyframe the scale again to 100. But we want to go back here and set this to 0. No, it doesn't look too good. Let's maybe go to around 30. Go here, and we can go ease in, and we can click here, right clicking, ease out. And now make sure this isn't too long. So, and we also want to add some pictures displays. Okay, so pretty much you kind of want to just copy these settings. 4.5, 30, and then you just copy these settings. So it's 1x40, and if you zoom in, you just keep going like this. 0, and then 200. Yeah, don't worry. I'll put this in a Google Drive at the bottom so you guys can have it. And then once we are around 150, I say, we cut the clip. So, and around 140, we're gonna go back to the scale and we're gonna change it to, well, we're gonna keyframe 150 and then we're gonna go to 150 here, 150 back, and we're gonna keyframe this to 0. And then usually here I would put my intro. So I think it's in my downloads. Okay, so here's my intro. And it pretty much just finishes off when the fade is there, so it's kind of perfect. I recommend you guys follow a tutorial and make an intro as well, as those are really helpful. And pretty much this entire stage is just gonna be pretty boring. You're just taking all your clips and putting it along the video. So I'm gonna time-lapse this area, and yeah, you're just gonna follow along. Just gonna cut it 5 frames before, and yeah, so pretty much you just drag your next clip on, and if it doesn't show audio, just drag it into here. Okay, so so drag it in, and then the audio should come back. And then pretty much what I recommend is, yeah, so just mark up all the beat drops. And as you can see, I'm putting like a reasonable amount of space in between, so 103 and 166. So around 300 frames, which roughly translate to about 3+ seconds of each clip. So and sometimes you want to just make sure you pinpoint it. And the thing is, you need to make sure that they're all like spaced pretty close. That way your montage flows well and it's not overusing like 20 seconds of one clip, because no one really wants to watch you running around unless you're like edit coursing half the time. Yeah, so pretty much just keep it. And you can even mark extras, but you don't have to use them. And some of the extra beats, I say actually use for your transitions. Now the rest of the song isn't so great. It's just him singing that part for a bit. So I'm just gonna go crossfade, exponential fade, and I'm just gonna go like 200. There you go. So it gradually goes down, and now we have all our points listed out. We're gonna go find our next cut point of our clip. Okay, so and sometimes it might not sound so right, and as you can see here I mistimed it, so the kill is actually around here. So let's just go here, and then you can press M again and go to previous marker and then delete it. So then you get rid of any clutter, and then, yeah. And just a quick tip, if you need any help, just DM me. I'm always in Discord. So yeah, I am pretty free. Okay, now we just need to add around, I think like 160 or 80 frames is good. So add 80 frames to this, and then it would be about there. So, and we can just cut it there. Nessus. And the key to making a good flowing montage is to make sure that all your clips are close together. So yeah, just make sure that they're nice and short and you get to the point. And it appears that the sequence settings are wrong, so let's change this to 1080. Okay, there we go. And then this is because I have stretch res, so I actually have a preset for that. What I recommend is you save everything you need as a preset, so it's literally just drag and drop. It makes your life like 20 times easier. Just trust me on that when I say that. The reason this is happening is because I nested it, so the real problem is down here, and yeah, you just gotta make sure so make sure your sequence setting is this before you start anything. Should have mentioned that earlier, that's my bad. But usually it should be set to 1080. Yeah. So just go into here, change the sequence settings to 1080. Okay, so now if we watch it back, great. Okay, so this part is kind of glitched, so we just need to put the 115, and then we put the Twixtor. Okay, we have to double nest this. Okay, yeah, sometimes you just have to keep nesting before your Twixtor works. So this video is strictly structure, and yeah, so it's actually a really important part. Just don't miss anything, because like, yeah, it's just really, really important. You have to make sure you know this stuff. So find where your kill is. Now, previously I taught an old way of time remapping, but just follow the new one because the new one is so much better. Like, I would say the old one is actually just so bad compared to the new one. And then add 80 to that, so that's just one. So yeah, so that's just 1706. Cut it here, trim it, and then go 5 frames ahead. And if you're wondering how to go 5 frames ahead, press Shift and arrow key. and it should bring you right there. I don't think this clip should be that long, so I'm just gonna grab it, shorten it a bit, and just bring it to where the tune is. See, nested there. And nested here. Okay, and pretty much, yeah. I mean, that clip could be longer, I mean, but it's not that exciting. And just so you know, you probably won't finish a montage in one day, so just take your time. This can actually even take like a week if you really want to perfect it. And this tutorial is probably going to take a good amount of time anyways, so you just want to take your time. And yeah, so I'm just going to keep doing this, and I'll just time lapse it. Okay, now this is gonna be part 2, and I decided to make this all one video so it's better for you guys. And I'm not gonna show you guys how to do the full thing, but I will. And for the effects and the finishing touches, I will just do like 3 clips or so. So first, the effects you want to master are pretty simple. The ones I think are the most important I have here. So there, you need to learn how to do a shake, a flicker, and a blur. So flicker, shake, blur, and glow. So I'll show you on each clip. So first we want to go to shake. Now there are many different types of shakes, but I recommend you use S shake, and then put it where your kill is. And then you need to go down here and change the settings, and this is a really important part. So the 2 best shakes I recommend are the Y and the tilt shake. So we need to turn the Z shake to completely off, X shake to nothing, and just Y shake. So at the moment it looks pretty bad because it's like there's too much shake. So pretty much frequency is the amount of times it shakes, amplitude is the size. So you want to slowly go from 1 and then just keyframe at the really end and change it to 0. Now if you feel like that's too fast, and I think that's good, so yeah, you should just do it that way. yeah, okay, so now that we've got the shakedown, I'm gonna show you guys how to do the glow. So you want to go to glow, and I'm just gonna turn off my presets, but you can go through these, and I usually like to use sapphire glow, so I'm just gonna stick that onto here. Now at first it's gonna seem a little bright, but you don't really want that to be completely white. Most people like doing it as like a pinkish glow, so it looks like this, like kind of like how 𝗟𝗶𝗫𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, if you know who that is. So you want to just keyframe that at 2, and then just go to the end like you would to 0, and then you want to save it as a preset and just call it like purple glow. But I'm not going to save it because I already have it, but that's what you would want to do. So the next time you can just drag and drop. So it kind of looks like that. And in my opinion, don't use these like simpler effects like themselves, unless you want a pretty like simple montage that's like more clean, less like edited, just more about the clips, then that's fine. But if you want more detail in your montage, then I say you should actually stack these effects, like put glow and shake together, or flicker. So now we're gonna go to learn how to do blur. I did show blur before, but I don't think that's that good anymore. It's not so viable, because now that you have all these stuff, there's so much like better blurs you can use. So once again, go to sapphire, and I like to just use S blur. Blur mode curves is slightly different as for screen pumps, but I'll show how to do that in slightly later. So you can put the blur to shake. So obviously this looks really bad at first, so let's go down, and you can actually press here to collapse the previous effects that you're done with, so you can easily work on these ones. So I'm going to go to a start, and now I'm going to turn the blur amount to like 10, and I'm just going to keyframe that, and then I'm going to keyframe that to 0. And there you go, you get that effect. And you can also change around these, but I recommend use Gaussian blur. And if you really want to, you can actually go to load preset, and here there's a bunch of presets that they have all these, and like it's really cool. Like you can literally go through these and then just keyframe it, so then you get like a really like interesting new preset that no one's ever found. So that's how I make some of my effects, by just looking through what I think is cool and modifying it. So next thing you want to do after this is I'm going to teach you how to do a flicker. So just close my presets, and then there should be a BCCS flicker here. So once again, I'm going to collapse all my stuff, and then I'm going to change this amplitude to 0.4, and then I'm going to go here and change it to 0. You can just watch it do like this, because sometimes the playback will be laggy because you didn't render it out. And I think that's actually a bit much, so I'm going to change that to 0.3. And you can play around with settings. I really recommend you do that, and maybe brightness to 0.5. No, I don't think so. Yeah, so pretty much you can play around with settings. And now I'm going to show how to do blur mode curves. Or actually no, I'm going to do bold first. So yeah, so I'm going to teach you guys how to do build-ups. This is really important. So first you want to go around, maybe find where the kill is, and maybe go like so here. So I'm going to go around to maybe 1100. Okay, now I'm gonna go to on maybe like 1200 around here, and then I'm gonna cut that, and then there should be a BCC bulbs. So these are all part of these what do you call this plugins. So you really need these. Like, if you don't use these, your editing's gonna be like pretty bad. It's not gonna be bad, it can still be clean, but it's not gonna be as cool as it would be. So yeah, here, BCC bulge. So you want to stick this here. You make the taper 30.2. I mean 30. And then put the stretch to 0.2. And then you want to go to around here, and I'm going to keyframe this at -28. And then back a bit and towards the end. Okay. Here I'm going to keyframe this. Towards the end I'm going to make that 0. But yeah, I'm going to make that slightly closer. And I'm gonna go around maybe 10 frames back, so, or maybe 20. Set it to 0. You kind of want to ease this in, ease this out. You want to ease this in. I mean, you want to ease this out. Ease this one in. Now, once you're done, you want to move these slightly back a bit, so. And you also want to mix this with like a flicker. So, as I showed earlier, I'm just gonna go grab this and put flicker here. And go to around here where it starts. And then you want to ramp up the amplitude. To about, oh, you want to keyframe this at 0. I don't want to do it. And then go to around here and change it to 0.4. And you can even change this to like 0.5. So you can probably turn down the blue and green. And also you want to add like a vignette when this happens. So here you go down here and add a vignette. So I turn off my presets, can go to S vignette and then keyframe this radius here. Keyframe this here, and then you just want to drag it out till you cannot see the vignette at all. Just want to slowly come back in, and so maybe around like 2. Personally, I think I should do this. And we can move the keyframes back a bit to the middle. Or bold as well. The moment my character leaves the ground, I want to bulge it. So, and then flicker starts. Interesting. And then you can also do some black dust buildup. So, that should be here. And then yeah, film damage. So. Set a 0 at the beginning, and then at the end, kind of want to turn this like 1. Wait, no, you don't want to turn that to 1. It's like 0.0. And there's also other buildups, like if I want here, then I can go to opacity, right, and turn this and keyframe this at 100. And go here and keyframe this to like 30. Yeah, so pretty much that's what you want to do with this, and then you can actually get pretty creative, add some effects, blurs, and then you can dip in it. There you go. And now that we are done with the effects, like it's pretty simple, but I like kind of done. We are gonna add our transitions. So there's a bunch of like free ones, like from Orange 84, but I don't know if those don't seem to work. I need to figure out why. But since you have Sapphire and BCC, there's also a bunch, so you can use. I like using Dissolve Blur. So you want to make sure you nest all your clips. So let's say I'm done with the effect, right, and then. Well, then pretty much you just want to nest it once you're done, but and then let's say I want to dissolve blur it here, so this is what it'll look like, and then it'll blur. I want to make sure your transition time's around 20 frames, so. And then yeah. And another good one I really like, in my opinion, is film roll. A lot of people say it's pretty good as well. So pretty much what you use is drag and drop, and then kind of creates this film effect, and then yeah. And then you can also use this TV channel change. I like it quite a lot as well. And another one I really like would be Swish 3D, and pretty much what you do is it just kind of goes like this, and then it just zooms you in to the next clip, and it's really clean. And Whiplash is good as well. So yeah, just try out all of these transitions, and also if you can get any like free packs, most free packs come with these pretty clean ones that most people use. Like and I'll probably add them too. It's like a slide down, left, right, warp, zoom in, zoom out. So those are pretty cool. Yeah, and so that's it for transitions, but now we need to add our sound effects. And that's a really, really important part that you cannot forget to do. So I'm gonna go to where my sound effects are, and I will put a link to this sound effect in the bottom of the video. But what I find most important is taking this gunshot and putting the swoosh. So go into the swoosh, right? And then you want to go to around here, around like where the highest peak is, and you want to keyframe that. And this is gonna line up with where in between where you cut your clips. So you have to make sure this magnet is on if it's not snapping. And then you get that build up sound, and it adds so much. Like, it's so subtle, but you can feel it so much. And you have to make sure it's not too loud, so. And then you pretty much just put this on all your clips. I'm just doing up to here, so I just put it all here. And then the next thing you want to do is put a color correction. And these might look a little weird at first, but once you get used to them, they look really good. So I'm gonna go to CC, and I'm actually gonna take a look. And so here, I have some preset settings, but this is probably one of the best ones, I'd have to say. I'm gonna put on a brighter one so I can just make, yeah, so it's called hue set bright, and just copy these settings. So hue shift 0.03 saturation. Yeah, so here you guys can pause the video here and take a look at the settings, copy it, and then you pretty much want to put it on all your clips. So I'm just gonna grab this and then just, and like I would put it on all my clips, but since I still need to edit it later on, I'm not gonna do that right now. Okay, and now once you're done putting that on, what you want to do is yeah, okay, so I'll just put it on for the sake of a video. Yeah, so we just put it on. Now it may remove like your like sometimes some effects might make it look weird again, so I'm just gonna go back to my stretch preset, and I'm gonna stick it back on. And obviously without it being rendered, it's really hard to see your like what you're trying to hard to see your preview, so I recommend rendering it and then checking if it's okay. Okay, and now once you're done with this, you're pretty much set to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to file and export media, and then I would just export the entire sequence. And then I already have a best settings, so what you want to do is follow my settings. Turn the width to 2560 and 1440, and make sure the source scaling is stretched to fill. 60 frame rate, render a maximum depth, and then performance, main 5.1, and then you really need to change that. And this, you don't really need to put your bitrate this high, but then I only do that because my clip bitrates are this high, and if I don't put it this high, it's gonna make everything look a little bad. So I just want to make sure everything looks good. And then that's about it. And if you want to add any like color correction here, you can, but then I found that it sometimes glitches my thing. So actually you want to make sure it's in so you just want to make sure your audio is good. And then I like putting it as frame blending, because or you can just do frame sampling. And yeah, so there you go. And then that's gonna be about it. You're just gonna click export, and then that's gonna be your first montage. Now let me think if there's anything I'm missing. Yeah, that should be about it. And then you just upload it to YouTube. And if you do these settings, you can get it in VP9, which means that the video is gonna be really high quality, and that's what you want. So I hope you guys learned something from this video, and I'm probably gonna put some more in-depth tutorials, like even more of them. I already have a few, so please do check them out. They will be at the top right hand corner. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you guys enjoy it and learn something. Peace out.